Xtreme Couture head coach Eric Nicksick is keeping the hope alive for a massive showdown between two of the most dangerous heavyweights in the sport, Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones. Now, we all know that Francis Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight champ, is gearing up for his big return to the cage. He's set to make his PFL debut on October 19th against 2023 champion Renan Ferreira. But let's not forget, Ngannou never actually lost his UFC title. It's still sitting with Jon Jones, who's widely considered one of the greatest to ever do it. For Nicksick, that dream matchup between Ngannou and Jones is still at the top of his wish list. Speaking with MMA Junkie, he said,
How can you be in this position and not want to try to fight the best to ever do it, right? And again, like I've said this time and time again, I think Jon is the best to ever do it.
Let's rewind a bit. The path to a Ngannou versus Jones fight was once very possible when both were still in the UFC. But as fate would have it, their timelines just never aligned. Jones needed 3 years to make the jump to heavyweight, and by the time he did, Ngannou had already exited the UFC after a huge win over Cyril Gane at UFC 270. Ngannou then signed with the PFL, which gave him the freedom to explore boxing, leaving fans to wonder what could have been. Jones, on the other hand, is now the UFC heavyweight champ and is scheduled to face former champ Stipe Miocic later this year. But let's be real, this matchup hasn't thrilled everyone, especially with Miocic inactivity and the rise of interim champ Tom Aspinall. So, what's the catch? For a Ngannou versus Jones fight to happen, the UFC would have to agree to a cross-promotional event with the PFL, something they've never been keen on. However, PFL execs are more than ready to make this dream fight a reality, putting the pressure on the UFC. Nicksick remains optimistic.
I mean, I'm very optimistic when it comes to these things, and I think money talks, and you get the right people behind you. Obviously, we have a good relationship with Saudi, and I know Dana and UFC are working very well with Saudi. So money talks, man. And no disrespect to Dana, but he has a boss as well. So somebody tells, hey man, this is a lot of money. We're taking this. Set your ego aside. I think Dana is in a position to where he wants to make the best fights, and he's not going to let his ego or any past history take advantage of that. And if he feels Jon Jones is the best to ever do it, then absolutely put your best guy forward and give us the opportunity to see if we can dethrone that man.
So, what do you guys think? Could we see Ngannou versus Jones happen after all? Subscribe to our channel for daily MMA coverage.